1 month. It's been 1 month since I went to Japan, and I had a great time during my trip in Japan. Yeah, kinda. Now, to anyone who don't know, I'll explain. On March 31st, we went to the airport to go to Japan. A side topic, I'm from Indonesia. Well, yes, there's an airplane to go to Indonesia. It was extremely expensive to go to Japan from Indonesia, so I decided that it's a good idea to go to Malaysia first, then go to Japan. It costs cheaper than plain Indonesian going to Japan. We bought the ticket since October 2024, and we got in Japan Airlines at 10:55 p.m. in Malaysia, and arrived in Japan on April 1st, 2025. As soon as we arrived in Japan, we were asked to fill this thing, disembarkation card. I didn't know we have to do that, considering this is the first time that I went to other countries than Indonesia. Following that, our trip in Japan officially began. I'm going to tell you guys my trip in Japan, so let's get started. So, day 1. Oh my gosh, even the start of the trip was already a disaster. I couldn't believe the temperature at that time. Do you know what was the temperature? I couldn't believe how the weather was so freezing, and I didn't know that Japan still had a snow pile in March. Because of the weather, unfortunately, I couldn't do any good things much in that time, which is honestly sad that my first day in Japan was ruined thanks to the weather. Day 2, the weather was still bad and it was still cold, but it wasn't as bad as day 1. On day 2, we went to the place that I don't know what that place called. We went to see the cherry blossom trees, and I took a lot of cherry blossom trees pictures. Afterward, we went to Shibuya Station. I took a picture of Hachiko dog statue. Do you know that the Nintendo store is indeed available in Japan? I went to Parco Mall, and there's a Nintendo store. It's honestly very surprising that I went there for the first time, and I bought this. I thought that this was a sticker, but turns out that this was actually a clear fill. Anyway, day 3. In day 3, we went to Disneyland and that's all. Although the weather was still bad, but it wasn't as bad as day 1. Anyway, I took a picture of Disneyland Castle, and this castle, Beauty and the Beast Castle, was really crowded at the time, and it took us a few hours to go inside the castle. This may be the popular place in Disneyland. Anyway, during that night, we saw a parade in Disneyland. Honestly, we had a great time in Disneyland. Well, a day would have been better if the weather wasn't really bad. Now, day 4. Finally, after 3 days that the weather was bad, the weather was finally decent. On that day, we went to Asakusa and there are lots of good things that we saw in there, and there was a cherry blossom tree as well, and I took a picture of it. Also, we went to Sumida River and we've seen Tokyo Skytree Tower, and we took a picture of it. So, I think that's all of my day 4 inches Japan. Now, day 5. We went to see a mountain Fuji in the morning. We went there with a bus, and it took 4 hours to get there. While we're on the way to see the mountain with a bus, we noticed a snow piles. This is the first time that I noticed, because, you know, in Indonesia, it never had a snow at all. As we arrived to see a mountain Fuji, we took a picture of the lake near mountain Fuji. Afterward, we went back to Tokyo at 5 p.m. and arrived at 8 p.m. We were having trouble finding a restaurant for dinner. Most of the restaurants were closed as soon as we arrived in Tokyo, but we found one restaurant and had dinner though. Now, day 6, a final day of my trip in Japan. We have bought lots of things before leaving Japan a day after. On that day, we went to Parco Mall to go to Nintendo store again, and we ate omuras, a last dinner before leaving Japan. And that's all the days of my trip in Japan. We went to Narita Airport and we got an airplane at 10:30 a.m. and we arrived at Malaysia at 5 p.m. of Malaysian time. Now, even though my trip in Japan was over, I had a day of my trip in Malaysia, and we went back to Indonesia on April 9th. So, that's all of my trip in Japan. Matter of fact, I have seen lots of things in Japan, and ate all of the Japanese foods, but sadly, I didn't take a picture of Tokyo Red Tower. Maybe someday that I can take a picture of Tokyo Red Tower. I hope that I can visit Japan again. Perhaps I'll go to Osaka for a visit if I have a plan to go to Japan again. Now we have reached to the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you want to see more videos in this channel, subscribe, and turn on the notification. I'll upload more videos in this channel in the future. Have a good day and thanks for watching this video once again.